Hello, hello. Welcome back. If you're watching this for the first time after the fact. I haven't streamed in a while, so I figured it was long overdue to um, share some thoughts on some games I've been currently playing, some games I've had in progress for a little bit. So today we are going to play some Trek to Yomi, which I have some kind of complicated thoughts on. Maybe not complicated, just mixed thoughts. Uh, Check out some of the DLC post game levels. Probably just one level in Umurangi Generation, which I actually finished last night offline. I got all the achievements surprisingly, but there's some extra levels that you unlock when you finish the game, so I might just want to knock those out because I was enjoying it. And maybe one other game. Usually when I do these kind of initial impression streams or post game or typically lately whenever I have been streaming, I've been doing just kind of like first impressions of new games that have come out. I'm slowly building my game of the year list for 2022, uh, which is usually exclusive to games that released during the year. And Trek to Yomi came out this year. Umurangi Generation came out a couple years ago on PC, I think primarily, and then Switch, but it got ported, the definitive edition, to Xbox this year. Um, and maybe a few other, maybe one other game I might check out today on stream. I'm not sure yet. But my goal is usually just to kind of share some impressions and thoughts, and then I eventually will, if I finish the game, I'll write them down in my blog, and I'll share them and post my blog, and do a stream for my blog and all that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna do a chapter in Trek to Yomi. It's not a very long game. I think I'm up to chapter 4 out of 6. There's some things I read about it that it didn't really make me happy in terms of like the game structure. But I'll just have to deal with it. If you're not familiar with Trek to Yomi, it is um, a new indie game. I already forget the developer's name, but uh, it's a 2D, sometimes 3D, side-scrolling samurai action game, I guess you could call it. It's very kind of old school, more arcadey, even though you do unlock some skills along the way. Uh, than like a typical action game or whatever. A lot of people kind of compared like the or tried to compare the combat to Ghost of Tsushima, which is like one of its contemporaries. I guess you could argue that was like a year. Um, but it's kind of a classic samurai revenge story. A lot of comparisons people make to Kurosawa, all that stuff. The whole game's in black and white, obviously. My favorite thing about it, honestly, are the pre-rendered and fixed camera angles. As a very old school, like PS2 era Onimusha, like survival horror kind of camera perspective, it kind of feels like an Onimusha, like Capcom PS1, PS2 era game. Just the way the camera is like fixated, and you'll see that as I start playing. Uh, and I'm kind of liking it. The combat's kind of like the least interesting part, and the chapters are not super long, but they're longer than I think they need to be. And I'm at the point where the game feels like it's just kind of dragging. And they do introduce a few new enemy types and mechanics and all sorts of things as you make progress, but it's not overly complicated. Like I said, it's like very arcadey. Hey, Quasi. Yeah, no worries. So we are at the start of chapter 4. Um, the thing that I kind of alluded to earlier is, and this is a huge pet peeve of mine, because it's not a super long game, but there are some like optional upgrades and collectibles you can find along the way. And uh, for whatever reason, and I would assume maybe it's just for a lack of time or manpower or whatever the case may be. But I was expecting there to be like a chapter select on the title screen somewhere, at least after finishing the first chapter, maybe. But there isn't. And then I read online because I was really curious because I was in one chapter and I was collecting all these collectibles without any help and I missed one. And the game kind of like constantly moves forward and you can't go backwards. So, and there's one save slot, and when you hit the save point in the game, it auto saves. So there's kind of no way to, unless you know the game obviously very well, or you're following a guide, there's no way to know if you've missed something. Or there kind of is a way to know if you missed something, but you can't go back and get it if you like go too far and save and then you're screwed. So that's a huge pet peeve of mine because like it's not a super long game from what I understand, and I was kind of having fun like collecting all the collectibles because they have a lot of like lore and background, kind of ancient Japanese mythology kind of items you're picking up or whatever, and it was interesting to read them, and I wanted to collect them all just for like completion's sake. And apparently you have to replay the whole game over again, and if you miss something on a playthrough, you just have to like start over, which is like, I don't, who's got time for that? And in a modern day like kind of campaigny chapter based game, how do you not have a chapter select? So again, I'm assuming because this is like an indie game, I don't know the studio or the person specifically behind this game. I don't know if it's like mostly a one-man team or what the deal is, but like I'm guessing it was more a case of not having the time for it rather than like not having the foresight to include one. I just like it was just Jesus Christ. So I'm kind of at like a point where I'm just like I just want to finish it and roll the credits and I don't really care anymore. Honestly, the best thing about the game is the visuals and the presentation. I kind of made a tweet about it, but like I was saying earlier, the camera's fixed. It's somewhat dynamic because it does follow the character, but it is fixed. You can't move it. And there are a lot of shots or a lot of screens, I guess you could say, that are like, you know, completely locked. So it just feels very old school, like PS1. Hey Eli, yeah, I'm still alive. I'm trucking along. But yeah, the pre-rendered, like this shot right here. Camera's not moving, it's completely like old school Resident Evil Onimusha style. You've got these pickups. I'll read all that stuff later. I started reading every pickup or every collectible, and then I kind of lost interest. Especially when I missed one and I couldn't go back for it. So I was a little peeved about that. But this is a big area. Yeah, the combat's just kind of like not great. It's not bad either. A lot of people are really down on this game, and it was kind of like hyped up a little bit. At least it seemed like PlayStation or Sony was promoting it pretty well, leading up to its release. But a lot of people seem kind of like mid or down on it, and I'm kind of there too now. I was like really impressed with it with like the first 2 chapters, and then I kind of was like, all right, I think I see why not everyone's feeling this.
教えてくれぬか。これは幻か。炎、戦があった。そして何が。思い出してたらオラが助けてやるから、この檻を開けてくれ。開けろ。今すぐに。開けろ。飯。汚れなし、清き者。おい、わしはお前などにやれん。この者のけども、自らを蝕んでおるようじゃ。
Yeah, God, all these fire particle like, effects are just chugging, making this game like chug right now. When it shouldn't be. But it's not really optimized here. These dudes just don't react to your attacks. I don't know if they're just supposed to be like that, or what the deal is. We'll say the save points are super forgiving, so like the checkpoints are fine. I would have loved this. Honestly, that not having a chapter select completely ruins it for me.
Aiko, 待て！待つのじゃ！
But yeah, there are... It's really weird. You unlock skills by killing, like, special enemies or certain enemies. So there is, like, some character progression, even though it is, like, more arcadey. And there's it's some basic kind of, like, D-pad plus, you know, face button combo shit, but, like, so there's some technicality in this game, but it's not overbearing, and you don't... I'm playing on the second highest difficulty, I think, from the whatever's available from the start. And there's been some encounters that have been pretty rough, but it's not like, again, the checkpoints are really fair outside of a few. But like I've kind of fallen into the trap where there's a combo or two that I like to use, so I'm not using everything here, and not every enemy. There's like one enemy type that's like you kind of have to use a certain move, like a thrust or piercing attack, because they're armored. But other than that, it's not... doesn't ask you a lot.
Bushか。馴染みのない顔。気安く振る舞うでない。人殺しか。思い違いでござろう。拙者は切られるべきものにのみ刀を抜いたまでじゃ。そのようなたわごとをよくも軽々と。誇りはないのか。鬼め。待て。くたばれ。
Yeah, I'm not like super into the characters or story either. I'm not sure what's exactly happening because your character is just so boring. Like he's kind of, I don't know. I'm not invested in what's happening at all. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. These enemies are weird. They don't get stunned. There we go. And there's kind of like a hidden stun meter. I don't know how it's activated, if it's based on damage or what. I don't know. You can do like execution attacks if you stun enemies, and I don't think I fully understand how it, like, you put enemies in that state. But I'm telling you, if one update away from adding either a new game plus where your skills carry over, or your collectibles carry over, and all your upgrades that you collect along the way, or just give me a fucking chapter select, I think I would love this a lot more than I do. There's so much stuff I want to play, and time's limited, obviously. And I like it enough, and it's short enough where I'd want to kind of get the most out of it, or I'd be happy to. But like, if I'm gonna move one screen and I miss a collectible, that's just like a shining object in a black and white background, like, just respect my time, please, at this point. These enemies are weird, though. Yeah, they interrupt your attack animation. Oh shit. You do have these cool environmental deaths, so there's like little points where you can interact and cool, like an environmental kind of death for all the enemies, which is cool. Did that not? Oh, there's two sides. Like, did that not do anything? It's just like classic video game stuff. You know how far you are in a level or a chapter based on the collectibles, so they go from top left to top right, and they work their way down. So like I found the fourth out of 10, I guess, that are in this chapter. So I'm like almost halfway through the chapter. So that's a good way to gauge how long the level is, which is cool. Again, if you miss one, gotta replay the whole game over again. Is wild to me. Weird. It's just the third part of that combo stuns them. So it's not damage based. I'm not gonna question it. Whatever gets me through this. So this game's getting a lot more supernatural or kind of yokai demon kind of situations here, which it was not like this like 2 chapters ago. These save points are very old school. They're just these cool little shrines. It's very PS2, you know, Onimusha, Resident Evil, like fixed save points, even though it's an autosave. Again, they're paced very well. Let's look at these shots.
お前は罪なき者どもの血を浴びておる。拙者が多くの者を黄泉に送ったは事実。されど。
Hey, Silent Snake. Thank you.
頼む。今誰も死ぬことはない。拙者は皆
Hope you've been well.
村で切られるのを
Hope you're
見た。
doing okay.
それでもお主は和平を口にするか。誇りなき化け物め。この者どもは拙者を村を荒らした悪党どもと思い違えておる。拙者が相手した輩であろう。
Hey, Keela. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Just busy, have a lot going on. But I'm hanging in. Yeah. So actually, I'm thinking tomorrow, because this weekend I'm completely free to myself. Yeah. Between work and personal stuff, I'm kind of maxed out at this point, I think. I don't have the time. Tomorrow, I might do a Elden Ring and a short, like maybe an hour, or probably 2 hours, like an hour each. An Elden Ring and Horizon stream. Because I haven't finished either, and I'm in the middle of both of them, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts, because I haven't done a stream on either of those games, so I wanted to share my thoughts on both of those, and then just open world games in general, and how I like feel about the whole thing right now. So I might make like an hour progress in both of those games and talk about them. I might do that tomorrow, or I might disappear for another month, so I don't know. We'll see. Pick up a phone? I don't like talk on phones. Just text me or DM me or whatever. It's my thing though. I unexpectedly show up. I could be streaming today. I could do 5 streams in a row like the next 6 days and then be gone for 2 months. Um I honestly I'm like fucking exhausted like mentally. Between work and I'm still what was I going to say? My pinched nerve elbow thing is kind of getting better. It's gotten better, but I go back to the doctors on Tuesday. So, like, work's been ridiculous, and I've had this pinched elbow thing, which could lead to surgery. That's been in the back of my head since March, so I've just, like... and then I was traveling for, like, all of May, or last month, pretty much. So I'm just all over the place. And yeah, inconsistency is my thing. I like thrive off of it. Alright, this combo destroys. So the elbow, like, it's still pinched technically, like the nerve in my elbow, but it was only affecting my left 2 fingers. So it's not so much like the elbow itself. I mean, it kind of technically is, but I'd say the 2 fingers that were fucked up from it have felt better this month or over the past like week compared to, I don't know, 2 months ago. So there's definitely been improvement, and like I said, I go to my doctor again this week. Um, so I'm gonna, hopefully he says like, let's just hold off on surgery, because I really, really, really don't want to do that, and I don't know how severe it would be. But I think it's healing or getting better, but it's been a long ass... pinched nerves are like nothing to fuck around with. And I might have gotten lucky with mine in terms of like it healing on its own. So I don't know. Alright, which way's like the non... This is what I fucking hate. Which way's the optional way? Which way's like... I would assume where the safe point is, that's like the way to go? Do we go up here to find some collectible that's gonna get cut off anyway? Oh my god. That's a low checkpoint. At least there's a low checkpoint. Yeah, these dudes just get one last lick in all the time. And I'm not like learning to fight them properly. Oh, cool. Oh man, state of play? Alright,
村一つ失われたとでも申すのか。
そうかもしれぬ。もしく
Well,
は
let me
た
just
だの
read this
幻想
dialogue that
か
I'm not
そ
following
なたの
anyway.
言葉は道理にかなわぬ。頼む。何が起きたのじゃ。
進むのじゃ武士よ。望みを捨てるでない。
Starting with Resident Evil 4 remake was pretty cool. That was, I think everyone was expecting that, or that was rumored or leaked like a year or two ago. Like, we knew that was coming, not so officially, but kind of official. I mean, I love Resident Evil. It's one of my favorite franchises still. And anything that's gonna, I think they just have something special with since the RE2 remake that they did. Even though people weren't too hot on 3, I think I still like the 3 remake to a degree, but like 4 is such a was such a series defining and kind of like genre defining game that um I, I always thought Resident Evil 4 and other people have seen said this like didn't really need a remake, but it kind of does, I guess you could argue. And after seeing like images of like some of the environments and areas in the trailer that they showed the other day, it's like, oh yeah, all right, the GameCube game looks pretty old now, so maybe this was worth remaking. I'm curious how like one-to-one it'll be, or how many liberties it'll take if they want to retell some of the story. Because Resident Evil 4, to me, even though Resident Evil was always goofy and like bonkers, um, RE4 was kind of like what set the story like off rail, I think, like further off the rails. And then by the time we got to 5 and 6, it was like, who cares about what's happening in the RE verse anymore? And then 7 kind of reset it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not like jumping out the window to play it for some reason. Like maybe just because I played so much of regular RE4, but I'm gonna be there for it. Most of the VR stuff look cool. I'd rather have the RE4 VR that's on like Oculus. I don't know if that's what they meant by content for the remake in VR too. Honestly, the PSVR 2 stuff that they showed, I wasn't too excited about. Like, I don't really care about The Walking Dead. I barely played regular No Man's Sky. I don't remember what was the fourth game? Oh, RE8. Yeah, RE8 in VR is gonna be cool, but I'm not dying to replay that either. So I don't know how much I would rush out to like make time for like the VR version of it, even though I totally would play it. Street Fighter 6 looks incredible, and I'm such a casual fighting game fan. I mean, I bought Street Fighter 5 at launch and barely played it. I know everyone hated that game at launch and it got better over time. But I've never really gone back to it. But I'm such a casual fighting game fan that like, uh, I mean, I grew up with the series. Like I played Street Fighter since I was a kid, on SNES and Sega Genesis and all that stuff. So I like Street Fighter and I casually like to play them. And this one just looks so much more. I think with that single player like open world Metro City stuff, I'd be all over that. Like more so than just jumping into ranked matches or whatever. So I'm excited about that. I think the visual style, everything about that game looks fucking incredible. Just like from the art style, art direction, the cinematic touches, all that shit. It just the kind of urban hip hop paint graffiti style. I don't know exactly what like style they're going for, but it's cool. Some of the indie stuff in between, I think that Seasons game looks cool. Um, I'll that's like a game I just would play like kind of on my own, but nothing to freak out about. Oh, Stray looks incredible. That Stray where you plays the cat game, that looks fucking awesome. So Stray looks good. What else was there? I'm trying to like exclude 16 for now. There was a bunch of like the port of Tunic, which I still have on Xbox, so I haven't finished that yet, or even I've barely played Tunic, but that's a cool game. Uh, but yeah, Final Fantasy 16. I've been waiting for like I know people love that composer, the Final Fantasy 14 Soken. I think is how you say his last name. But, like I've been waiting for that like bigger story FF12 Tactics style like Final Fantasy for a while, and I don't dislike 13 or there's parts of 15, there's a lot about 15 that I don't like, but like the mainline recent Final Fantasies, like 12 was probably my last one that I really resonated with that I loved more so than the others. I grew over time to kind of appreciate 13, and 15 I'm still like very mixed on, but yeah, just the staff behind 16, Jesus Christ, like you've got the battle director's like poached from Capcom, who's like done like some of the best 3D Japanese action game combat, so you know that stuff's going to be good. I see people that are like concerned about it not being. I don't think we really know yet. Like, is it a? Do you have do you have party members in 16, or is 16 a straight up like you're one person and you just have tons of combat options? Um, I don't know. I think it'd be cool if there was a way to incorporate party members or have like some sort of NPC allies that like attack with you. But I'd be surprised, but not surprised if they're just going the one character approach. But yeah, just the art direction, stylistically, the tone of 16 is like 100% up my alley. So I'm mostly curious about like the structure of the game at this point. Like how big is the world? Is it all connected? Is it open world? Is it like semi-open world? Is it chapter based? Like what is it? Is there a time skip? You play as a young Clive and then you time skip to an old Clive? Yeah, state of play was good. It felt like proper summer E3 kind of announcements. Not having the whole E3 presentation. Alright, which way's the way we're supposed to go? Which way's the way we're not supposed to go? Okay, this was the optional route. Alright, I'm getting to the end of this chapter because there's only 3 collectibles left. I'm gonna be so bummed that I missed all those collectibles and shit. Or the one. If I find everything but one, I'm gonna be so upset. This combo is forget about it. Everything dies after 3. Wow. Oh, is that the executions? Or finishers, yeah. I figured I'd be getting that soon. The Eternal Castle remaster? No, I don't think I even know what that is. That name sounds like somewhat familiar, but it's also not ringing any bells, like specifically. I don't know.
Aiko, どこへ行く?
Okay, I'll look into it. Is it like available on like modern consoles? Hopefully. Sounds like PC. Okay. Yeah, normally I like to like check out. I'm not familiar like who the developer really is for this game. Oh, he's got a gun. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, they get. Oh, weird. Okay. Have you played this yet, Silent Snake? Truck to Yomi? Just if you have, just curious, like, what your thoughts on it. Like, I have a major gripe with it that most people wouldn't care about. That's purely like gameplay stuff or game structure. That's kind of bumming me out about the whole thing, but like I want to like this more than I do right now. Yeah, the best things about it, I was saying earlier, are it's just like the presentation style, the visuals, the camera angles, the fixed camera angles, and like I'm obsessed with. Just the look of the game is really well done. And the gameplay is competent enough, and I do think people are being a little too harsh on like how, well, maybe it's justified. I don't know. You can't. I unlocked this one combo that on like the third strike stuns enemies for you to use a finisher, and it's working on like everything. So you can kind of trivialize it after a certain point. But there's parries and blocks, like there's some thought at least.
お主が切られたのを上川村で見たはず。そなたが生きておると知っておれば。
お主、我らを見捨てよって、我らを朽ち果てさせたのじゃ。
拙者はまやかされたのじゃ。
多くのものがなくなった。お主が名誉ばかりを欲したからじゃ。
そうではない。拙者は奴を止めようと。
お主は誓いを破ったのじゃ。
Is this the boss? I didn't even collect everything yet. No, it's not. Damn it. I was doing well. Oh. Alright. I'm playing too aggressive when there's that many enemies.
一体何が起きたのじゃ。この汚れた血はお主に何をしたというのじゃ。
I could go any of these directions and the game will like lock me out of somewhere, probably. This seems optional over here. Oh no. Heavy stuff. How many skills am I missing? Missing 5? I definitely missed one like early. I had to have missed something. Why isn't there a church of sword? I'm gonna keep rubbing that in. All right. Fuck. This was probably the optional thing up here. I don't know why I would use anything else. This combo's a guaranteed finisher, at least on this difficulty. I don't know. Oh, that would have, damn it, that would have killed all those dudes earlier there. Just keeps going. I forgot I had this go. That's no. Alright, I was being too aggressive. Way too aggressive. That's a good shot. I already feel like I missed a collectible somewhere. I'm kind of like rushing through this parts of this. Sometimes you just don't know where stuff is. Well, that part's kind of cool. Alright, so I either gotta kill those things really fast, or do like, you can do a parry forward, which puts you behind the enemy, and then just keep running. I don't know what'll... It's faster. Fuck, I don't know if there's enough time. I got it, probably.
知らぬからこれより何を取るというかもう十分なくしておる。何のことじゃ。
橋だ。もはやわしらは帰ることはできぬ。
拙者の重みにも耐えられぬならそなたの重みにも耐えられまい。他に戻る道はないの。
道などない。道などない。全て食っちまった。
Oh, of course I find every collectible in this chapter. I've missed one so far. Oh my god. Watch that be the case.
汚らわしい。
What?
頼む。戻ってくれ。アイコ、待て。待つのじゃ。
Alright, this is boss time. Boss has been kind of frustrating, so. This looks awesome, though. So after, if I beat this boss, we'll switch games.
アイコ、待て。
Keep it cruising to the next one. Okay. This is not going to be easy, probably. I was just brute forcing it because I don't know what its patterns are yet. Can you even block that? Wow. Oh, you can roll under it. Okay. I don't know if you can perfect guard it though. What I'm trying to figure out. This boss does not have phases, you just keep attacking it. Which is interesting. Oh, what are you doing? No, I don't think so. Oh, what the fuck? I don't know what was happening there. Yeah, dude. Alright, you can't block her double blade downward strike. No, alright. Well, you can, but I don't know what was happening there. Ugh. I don't know. Can't get a feel for this. Jesus Christ. turnaround. Man, I don't know. I'm being very aggressive with this fight, but I don't know how else to... Oh, so close! Ah! Ah. It's like gliding. Jesus. The patterns are just... There's something about the patterns on it. Oof. boss is ridiculous. And I know I'm on a harder... I didn't think this game was going to get this hard. I'm diminishing returns now. Jesus Christ. This is like really fucking hard. got it. Jesus Christ. That wasn't easy at all.
愛子拙者は何をしたのじゃ。どうか許しておくれ。
ご自分を責めることなどございませぬ。あなた様は静寂をお持ちくださいました。私はそれまではおののくことしかできずにおりました。私は黄泉のものとなり申した。しかと受け入れたのです。
拙者は遅すぎたのじゃ。そなたをあのような鬼の手にかけさせてしまおうとは。されど拙者もここにおる。そなたのそばで静寂とともに。
私もそうしていたく存じます。されど叶いませぬ。今しばしあの人殺しは今も生きております。カゲロウを止めなければさらなる命が奪われることでしょう。黄泉の深みがあなた様を呼んでおられます。そこで斧が道をお選びくだされ。
Oh shit. These endings? What does this mean? I'll stand by your side, whatever. The top choice.
何も決することはない。拙者はそなたのそばにおる。
今はここではできませぬ。より深き闇へ下り待ち受ける者と向かい合わねばなりませぬ。
それでそなたを取り戻せるならどのような闇でも立ち向かおうぞ。後ほどお会いいたしましょう。
さように。されどあなた様のお心は別の地に導くやもしれませぬ。
そなたにもう一度会うことは叶うか。
一度だけ、もしくは永遠に。
Uh, one collectible? It's probably a
こ
short
こが
chapter.
読みか。死者の地、闇の世。
Oh, no, never mind. It'll be pretty lengthy. All right, let's get to a save point, and then I'm gonna walk away for a second and then switch games.
何か道があるに違いない。
Yeah, so that was a midway through, more than halfway through at this point. Truck to Yomi. Pretty cool game. Like I said, my favorite thing about it are it's like just the visuals and the presentation style. Fixed camera angles are just really nostalgic for me. It feels like you're playing like an old school survival horror game. But the combat is a little... It can get a little old. It's very simple. There's definitely a degree of like technique to it. You can block and parry attacks. You learn some skills along the way. There's health and stamina upgrades that you can collect along the way. A lot of it's optional, but a lot of it's also kind of like pretty easy or apparent to find. There's very few like off the beaten path. There's just like a path or two with like side things in each chapter, it seems like. But again, you cannot chapter select during the game or even after finishing it. You have to start a whole new game again if you've missed anything. There's achievements and everything tied to like collecting stuff, so I think that's a huge bummer. I would hope they patch in a chapter select. I don't know if they probably won't. I don't know how big this team is or how well the game's doing, if it's worth it, or if they're just gonna release it and just move on from there. But yeah, very classic kind of Japanese samurai revenge story with some mythology and folklore tied into it. Nothing too... I'm not like super... I don't know. The main character I'm not into or feeling. And the overall story is just kind of like... I don't know what's pushing me forward. I want to keep playing it, maybe just to see like the visuals. And the boss fights are pretty engaging, if not a little... Again, I'm playing on the 3rd difficulty, so it's a little harder. Maybe the normal is like a little bit more approachable if you just want to see the game or see the visuals or the just get through it or whatever if you like the gameplay. But yeah, interesting game. It's on Game Pass. That's what I'm playing it on Xbox right now. But I think it's on PS5 as well. And there's a physical version that Special Reserves Games is selling, I think. But I'm gonna walk away for a second. I'll be right back. Which games we're gonna do, or try to do a DLC chapter or level in Umurangi Generation, which I finished yesterday, by the way. All right. I've been wanting to play this game for a decent amount of time. Since it was on Game Pass, I figured I'd try it, because I didn't think it was very long. I'm always looking for shorter games, too, still. That I can just kind of knock out and have a good time with and move on from. This is a first-person photography game where you explore like little mini environments and take pictures of things based on these this objective list per level. And it's got a cool kind of I don't know how I would describe the art style, but kind of reminds, I think people said it has like a jet grind radio look to it, or that's one of the inspirations, but it seems like it's inspired by a bunch of little... it's actually there's a lot of like Neon Genesis Evangelion in this game, I think. I don't know if that's a spoiler, towards the end of it. And you have a little penguin friend as well, who's on the title screen. But a lot of social commentary and kind of like... It's very topical, I guess you could say. It says... the way I was trying to describe this game without getting too, like, wordy, I guess, is that it says a lot without saying anything. There's really no dialogue in the game, but there's just the levels that you play and what's happening in the game It's kind of like very topical and depressing and I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. We're gonna do. I already finished it yesterday. But there are bonus objectives in each level, and then this definitive edition that's available on Game Pass has all the DLC levels that I guess they added to like the PC version. So we're gonna try. It's called Gamer's Palace. We're just gonna do this level, try to do all the objectives, and then I'm gonna either call it a stream or switch it to my third game. That'll be it.
Howdy, Raglan, and good day. It is I, DJ.
So you have 10 minutes to do all of these objectives, or these bounties, and then these bonus objectives at the bottom. It's mostly just taking pictures of things that are in like unique spots.
Don't believe the hype, believe in Tariq instead. Trust in the mix. Protect the beats. In this church.
And you unlock certain camera like lens types along the way, so they kind of ask you to switch to certain lens to take certain pictures.
Tariq.
The hardest thing about this game is finding all of the there's like collectible film canisters that are scattered in each level, and it's like pixel hunting. It's so hard to find a lot of these. This level's not going to be fun either because there is... It's very dark. I don't think I can. This film is going to drop the... Alright, so I need 3 gamepads with pink buttons and 1 with green. A 2D insta waifu and 1. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, wait. Forgot. What is Tariq mean? I'm missing 6 film canisters, which is not a good sign for this early. Or how much I've explored already. There's one. Look at this guy. Hold on, can I get like a decent photo of that?
D. J. Tariq.
And Tariq? Pink button. I don't know what to read. Gotta zoom in on it. Hey Digicub, how are you? How you feeling? I'm assuming I'm looking for a word that says Tariq. Tariq. Yeah, I might jump on Destiny tonight once I finish up some of these games here right now. I only played it once so far this week, so I just haven't done like anything. But I should probably at least get on Iron Banner. I'm doing okay. Hanging in. I don't know what I'm looking for. Usually some of the things you need to find are like words on the wall, so you gotta like read. Oh, Jesus Christ. I could just like start taking pictures of stuff and get lucky with this thing that they want me to find. Oh, duh, right here. Now I just need to find the 9 film canister. I need 4 more. It could be anywhere. None of this ultra wide camera. Here's one. Oh, there's a few up here. More some. The thing that sucks about trying to find this stuff, it's like, it's literally pixel hunting. Like, I can't believe there's 3 that I haven't seen yet. They could be like anywhere. I'm not trying to use a guide yet if I don't have to. But it might get to the point where it's just like, I don't know where these things are.
You little bitch. You can't do shit. I am a dolphin. Suck my dick. You all be tripping. I am just swimming.
I wasn't listening to
I'm
the
a
song.
blue dolphin. But I am not tripping. And don't be rude. Dude, I got attitude. I jump up from the water. At high altitudes. Respect the drip. I'm wet and dripping. I'm in the water. Catch me skipping. I stole your bitch. Now she is mine. You got the L. I have the S. $sign. So don't mind me as I boogie. Because this next beat is rather spooky. DJ Tariq.
Yeah, like I'm trying to meet all these bonus objectives, and I need to find 9 film canisters, and I have 3 more. And they're not like as small as like a pixel, but it feels like that. And this level sucks because like it's very dark, and the canisters are like black with like a little white lid, so they're just. They're really hard to see. And they're usually like in pretty noticeable spots, but some of them aren't like at all. Huh. And the levels aren't too big either, so it's like it's kind of, I kind of can't stop looking for them. I mean, they're usually like up against things.
Oh fuck. Oh no. I just pulled out the wrong cable. And pressed the wrong button. This is horrible. A travesty. I fixed it. DJ Tariq.
That would have been a good spot. Oh my god, I see one. This is ridiculous. Look at this. Ugh. It's little on this like little rafter up here. Weird. Can't go. You can kind of go back. Maybe something up here. I don't think there's two more up here. Oh, there's one right here. Now I'm missing one. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. Like all up these for these stupid film cams. Can't see shit. Wait. What up here? Damn it, I thought the canister. That's really frustrating. I don't think it is. I'm sure this doesn't make it for an exciting stream, but I really want to fucking find this canister so badly. Where haven't I really looked?
DJ Tariq.
I don't know. I don't know if I could find it. I just have to look. It's hidden so well. I'm about to finish the level and call it. I can't find the canister. It's gonna drive me nuts. So bummed it wasn't on this overhead area. All right, one last look up here. I know. Give up. Just finish the level.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
It's gonna bother me. So yeah, this is it's a pretty short game. Just there's literally no dialogue. You just drop into these levels and there's like no introduction story or anything, and you're just like I don't even know who you're playing as. It seems like you've got like a group of like teenager friends. It's very stylish. And you're in these like little mini open world kind of environments, and while there is a time limit to complete, it's not required to finish your objectives or your picture or photography objectives within that 10 minutes. But if you want to like 100% the game and unlock everything and finish all of the the bonus objectives, you have to like basically take every picture that they're asking you to do and collect all the little film canisters that are scattered, which is the hardest thing to find on your own. But yeah, it's a really interesting game in terms of like, I want to say this released in 2020, so it was like a pandemic release game, or at least maybe it was a year before that on PC. I forget where it initially launched technically. It was 2019 or 2020, but like a big part of the game is kind of like very topical or relevant, I guess you could say. Like, it seems like these teenagers are living in this city that's like extremely oppressed, and there's some sort of like, you know, civil unrest, or there's police everywhere, but then it turns into like there's kaiju. This is like spoiler shit, but there's very like neon, like I was saying earlier, like Neon Genesis Evangelion, like there's literally like a reference to that in one of the levels where it looks like there's some alien or some sort of creature or kaiju that invades Earth, and the military's fighting it, and you're caught up in it, and there's people like escaping city to city, I guess going to safe havens, or I don't know what's going on in the game, because again, there's no dialogue. You just have to kind of put everything together with what you're seeing and taking pictures of, which is cool. And it has a very kind of like jet set radio aesthetic, jet grind radio, sort of like cyberpunky vibe to it. I don't know how to describe. It's a very like weird hybrid of sorts, I would say, this game. But if you like, just, I didn't get too into like actually taking photos. Like, I got really just into the game side of it. So like the objectives that it asks you to take, or the pictures that you have to take, I didn't get into like making them look good. Like, as long if the game checked it off, I just kind of moved on. So I didn't actually like attempt to take like legitimately good pictures within the game. So if you're into like actually like photography, it seems like there's like a decent amount of sliders and things like post effects you can apply to your pictures. If you wanted to, like, you know, take a bunch of in-game pictures for whatever reason, if you want to share them online or whatever. I don't know. And there's a bunch of this version of the game. So again, I was playing this on Game Pass, but I know this is on Switch and PC. But this has all of the DLC, I guess, they added originally to the version. So there's like extra levels and like speed running modes, which I don't know if there's online leaderboards or what the deal is. I don't know if it unlocks anything, because there's a decent amount of unlockables. You unlock like camera upgrades and filters and different types of cameras that let you take pictures, like wide angle, fish lens. It's definitely like for a camera person, but if you just like kind of weird, quirky, short indie games where you take pictures of things and you can knock it out in like a few days, it works for that too. So I enjoyed it, but I'll probably come back with bonus levels at some point. There's what? How many levels regularly? I think 8. 1, 2, 7, 8. Yeah. So there's 8 levels regularly. Then there's these. I think there's 4 bonus levels. Inventory is like all the upgrades and things you unlock. You do all the objectives in each stage. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. That was Trek to Yomi and Umurangi Generation. Trek to Yomi came out this year. The more I play it, I don't think it was gonna make my top 10 anyway. but maybe an honorable mention by the time I finish it. I don't know if I'll come back and do another replay. 'Cause that's not a super long game either. But I'm mixed on it. I like it, but I'm not like in love with it. And Umurangi, I really did like this game. Finished it last night technically. But this was a 2020 game, and it just came out on Xbox this year. So I won't count it for my game of the year, but it could make like an honorable mention or like one of my favorite games from a previous year that I played for the first time this year. I might make that list, which is like a separate list that I keep track of. Yeah, I may or may not stream again tomorrow or maybe sometime this week to have some free time to start streaming again. Yeah, you don't want to see my Excels or my lists. Well, honestly, it's a list within a blog post for my blog that I like barely update. Um, but when I'm compiling my top 10 list, I very strictly follow what like other gaming websites do. So like Easy Allies or Giant Bomb or MinMax started doing it as well. They make two top tens. The two tens is what they call it, which is like a top 20 technically for the year. Because I love making lists. So and I like making my top 10 games of the year. I really try to strictly keep it to games that released during the year. So it's like a kind of a good um, picture of like what came out, like what were you doing or what were you playing in 2022 specifically, or what games came out in 2022 specifically, rather than like, you know, Umurangi Generation was like a pandemic game, like it was a 2020 game. Like playing it now, it's like a little different, and it doesn't count for this year, even though it came out on Xbox this year. It's like an older game, so it goes on a separate list. It doesn't get numbered. I'll say that. But whatever, lists don't mean anything. It's all just like nonsense and mental gymnastics or whatever. So it's fun. Fun making lists are fun to make. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit I still need. I really want to play more Tunic, but I haven't gone back since I first played it. That came out this year. It's coming out on PlayStation 5 soon. What else? Sable was last year. This is just stuff that I've had downloaded. Oh, Nobody Saves the World. I haven't tried that yet. That was an early 2022 release that people seemed somewhat high on, those that played it, but it came and went and everyone forgot about it. It was the Guacamelee developers. Infernax is really cool. I played a little bit of that. That was this year as well. I haven't gone back to it though. Did I download anything else that was... Oh, I really want to try this. How do you say this? Ayuden Chronicle. But so it's on Game Pass, but I kickstarted this game, and they haven't fucking sent me my code. It was for PS5. I kickstarted like the game that this is like based on. This is like a supplementary game that they released, kind of like the Circle of the Moon, not Circle of the Moon, whatever that Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. It's a similar situation like that, but I haven't started that yet. But I heard this is just okay. It's like a 2D side-scrolling action RPG, very grindy apparently, and it's like the lead up to their full Ayuden Chronicle or Ayuden. I don't know how you say that. I almost started Crossfire today. That was gonna be my third game because this came out this year. The campaign done by Remedy, like the Alan Wake people and all that jazz. I really wanted to try that, and I was going to do that today, but I don't have the energy right now. I'm probably going to sign off. I started Citizen Sleeper, but it's super dense, and it's like a visual novel, so there's a lot of reading, and I got turned off, and I just wasn't in the mood. So that's that game. So those are just some shit that came out this year. The rest of this stuff is older. I want to play Lake as well. There's too much stuff to play. Oh, Loot River. I downloaded that. I hear people talking about that game a little bit. I haven't tried it. I don't know if I will. We'll see. But I'm about around 20 games finished for the year, which is a decent pace. I'm still technically on track, but the year is halfway over, and I'll be doing lots of different things and playing some longer games still, like Elden Ring and Horizon, which I'm not anywhere close to being done with them apparently. So whether or not I hit my 52 goal this year, I don't know. I might not. This might be the first year I don't hit it, but it doesn't matter. But that's why I'm sneaking in some short games like Yomi and or Umurangi, which are like I finished this technically, and I think a chapter or two away from finishing it, or at least rolling the credits. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Elog, Digicub, Silent Snake, thanks for the sub again. Might be back tomorrow, might not. I don't know. That's just how I roll, or that's how things go. But I will y'all later. So I'm gonna get up, and I'm not even sure who's on. Maybe I'll see if anyone's on to raid. I haven't raided anyone in a while because I'm just not like on very often. I'll see who's on. Maybe I'll send some people some way. But if not, I'll talk to y'all. Talk to y'all later. I'll see you, Keyline.